Lads, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. I'm Ingood Nick, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the players that have been touted to come into Bramall Lane and out of Bramall Lane in the January transfer window. It's exciting times. Oh, and just before my intro, make sure you go downstairs and subscribe right now, because we are on the cusp of 9,000 subscribers. Ta very much. So since the start of the season, when Chris Wilder chose his 25-man squad, the only players that have gone out up to now are Richard Stamen, that went out earlier on in January, and now Callum Robinson. And he's gone on loan to West Brom for the rest of the season. In regards to Richard Stamen, he stood in for Egan last season when he needed to, put in some really solid performances, and obviously scored that header against Middlesbrough. But realistically, he's not Premier League quality anymore. He's not been Premier League quality since his Wolves days. But it seems like a great move for him and Huddersfield. And also by the looks of it, it looks like he's had a great start to his town career. Now Callum Robinson is a different kettle of fish. He's only 24 years old, so he's got a long career in front of him. But I think I'm right in saying I'm not sure if he fits our system, if he's even good enough for the Premier League. And I don't think most of us even know his best position. I'm not sure he knows himself. It could be as a wide striker or a wide midfielder. It could be straight through the middle as a striker, or it could even be just in behind the strikers. Who knows? But what we do know is he's going to go out on loan to West Bromwich Albion, going to try and get some minutes under his belt, he's going to try and score some goals, and try and stop Leeds and Wednesday getting promoted. Well, Wednesday won't be too difficult. I don't think he's played his last game for Sheffield United, and it's just a chance to go out there and prove himself. Also, it looks like Wilder might try and kind of move on Keane Bryant and Leon Clark. Maybe on permanence, maybe on loans. But I think he'll be trying to free up some spaces so we can bring some players in. But looking at the rest of the players, I think if they get called upon, they could do a decent job in their own position. For instance, if something happens to Baldock, I think Freeman can step in and do an half-decent job. Jags in for Egan, Osborne for Ender, and maybe even Rodwell Morrison, who knows. And now on to the ins. We've obviously signed Jack Rodwell and Jack Robinson, but I ain't seen either of them play yet. I think it's quite clear to see that Jack Robinson's been brought in as kind of cover for Jack O'Connell and also cover for Ender Stevens at left wing back. Whereas Jack Rodwell's been brought in as kind of the other overlapping centre back, Basham, as kind of a replacement for Basham in case anything happens. And also a defensive midfielder, but I think we've got enough defensive midfielders right now. But you never know, we could get some suspensions, some injuries, so it's nice to have a bit more cover. So it only really looks like we've been linked with 2 players. And normally when you've been linked with players this much, on this many sites, from this many reporters, you know it's going to be real. First up, we've got Ricardo Zivkovic. He plays for Chinese second tier outfit, Changchun Yatai. And it looks like we're very close to securing that deal. Maybe this deal could even go through before I even put this video up. Let's hope not. But this has gathered a bit of speed today, so I've not done too much research on this guy. But what I do know, he was touted as the Ajax wonder kid, because he scored absolutely shed loads of goals for the Ajax youth team. However, he went to a couple of Dutch teams on loan, and it wasn't that successful. Then he spent 2 seasons in Belgium. He scored some goals, but a ratio of 1 goal to 5 games isn't the best, especially in kind of like not a great league like the Pro League. But he was playing for a pretty poor team, so swings and roundabouts really. But this season he's absolutely banged goals. 12 goals in 17 games. But it is the Chinese second division. But he's only 23, still got loads of time. But before anyone has a go at me, I do trust accuracy Wilder. And the other player that we look like we're going to sign, and I think this is the reason why most people's clicked on this video, is Sander Berg, or Berge, I'm not sure how you say it. Now I've got absolutely no idea how we've found ourselves kind of favourites to sign this guy. He's 21 and he looks an absolute dream to watch play football. He's a defensive midfielder, so it looks like he'd either replace Norwood or kind of sit next to Norwood in kind of like a defensive 2. But what he likes to do is pick the ball up from the defence and kind of drive with it, which is excellent because we're great at kind of building up attacks down the wing. It'd be great to kind of play the ball through the middle as well. And obviously picking that ball off the defence, driving through, trying to start them attacks. He's 6'5", which means he's an absolute giant. He's very strong on the ball, and he's really quick for a CDM. An excellent dribbler with the ball, really quick feet, a great passer, and it seems like he's got a good shot on him too. But from what I've seen from the odd game, clips on YouTube, and kind of just people reporting on him, it looks like he could be world class in a couple of years. Obviously if it all goes well for him. The only player I can really compare him to is Moussa Dembele, who used to play for Spurs. A lovely player, and he was criminally underrated. But usually those defensive midfielders that kind of cut the play out, start the play, kind of get overlooked. It seems like the deal's going really smoothly as well, which is a little bit worrying. But it was reported that Genk wanted to sell him to us and then kind of loan him back. Like, why would you spend an absolute bomb on a player and then just be like, yeah, have him back if you want? Also, the fee was 17 million the other day. Now it looks like it's going to be 27 million. It could even go up more. I'm just surprised that we're actually going to pay it. What's very unsettling is the fact that a lot of big clubs are interested in him. I've heard that West Ham were interested in him, Man United, Arsenal. It's a little bit scary because, any of them teams can probably come in and snap him up from underneath our noses. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that West Ham are better than us or bigger than us or whatever, but West Ham's been in the Premier League for a lot longer than us, a lot more stable than us. And I do think if a club like that came in for him and hijacked the deal, I think he'd probably go to them. And I wouldn't blame him, to be honest, because we're doing well this season, but he doesn't know us. He doesn't know Chris Wilder. He doesn't know if we can sustain this position in the league. And he's playing Champions League football at the moment. He'll want to either try and get Champions League football again or at least get European football. It's quite weird that this one was leaked quite early. And I bet if this is a true deal that looks like it's going to go through, I bet Wilder is absolutely livid that it's kind of been thrown around everywhere and it's giving other clubs a chance to try and come in and steal him from under his noses. But we'll see. If we don't sign Sander Berg or we don't sign the other guy, I'm sure Wilder's got something up his sleeve. And even if he doesn't, I'm not even that bothered. The team have been excellent this season. You wouldn't want anything to kind of rock the boat. But that's never going to happen with Chris Wilder at the helm. Someone said to me a while ago as well, why don't you do a video on possible players that we could be buying or kind of interested in? And I was thinking, I can't. I physically can't, because as if I would have guessed Sander Berg and this other guy that I've never even heard of. Like, Chris Wilder knows who he wants to sign, and it's always a player that you least expect. Look at Jack Rodwell, Jack Robinson. Jack Robinson wasn't even a favourite at Forest. Neither was Ben Osborne. I heard a lot of negative things about both of them. And look, Ender Stevens. Look at Ender Stevens. We've got one of the best left backs in the Premier League, in my opinion. He picked him up from League 2, Portsmouth. It's just crazy what goes on in that guy's brain and the scouts around him that are bringing him this information. Anyway, like I say, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's not the end of the world. But I would love to see at least Sander Berg playing in a red and white shirt, a Sheffield United red and white shirt, as soon as possible, because that guy looks amazing. I will be gutted if we don't sign him, but at the same time, if we don't, we don't. It's not the end of the world. I weren't expecting us to spend a load of money on a player like that before. So if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We've still had an amazing season up to now. We're building from strength to strength, and I'm sure Chris Wilder will bring some more players in the close season. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with the way things are going. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, smash a like on it. And if you're new around here, please subscribe and stay good, Nick.